another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. You know, for the longest time, this was usually done in the afternoon. I didn't get up sometimes till 2, 3 o'clock. You know what it was? It was my atorvastatin. Ever since I went off the atorvastatin, I've been awake all day. Sometimes I get up at 6 o'clock. I'm like, I want to go back to bed for an hour. If I could get up 8, 9 o'clock, that'd be perfect for me. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get there. Well, that's not true because I do a lot of stuff at 10 o'clock. So, good morning, Leisure. Good morning. Thanks for the Wednesday update. Appreciated that. I was able to catch a little bit of it. So, I'll watch the rest a little bit later. Shirt. God. Right? Kind of an inside joke at this point. When you believe in your higher shirts, right? Right? But you will, right? So, yeah, I try and wear this shirt on Thursdays. This is my Thursday shirt. I don't have enough shirts to. I don't have enough shirts. I'm a t-shirt guy. I need more shirts that have to do with the program and things like that. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right? So, all right. Let's change that. There we go. I'm feeling a little more blue today. God made that shirt, right? A Virgo god, right? Wouldn't it be goddess then? Oh, the ways we stop playing God. All right. It's been a good week, man. I mean, my website's going to be done soon. By the way, it's no longer trudgingtogether.com. It's been changed. I'm revising some things. I am more of a .org than I am a .com. There are some things that happen and I can't get back to it. I don't know what they're talking about, but I haven't paid anything. So trudgingtogether.com is going to be trudgingtogether.org soon. I'm going to need to go to everybody that's signed up there and see if they're willing to go to the other spot. It looked like crap, man. Found out my insurance is actually working. How many people get excited to go to therapy? I do. Right? And people are like, did you get the same therapist? I'm a fuck yeah. The therapist I have now, she's fantastic. And I don't care where she goes. I will follow her if she decides to go somewhere. Oh, good for you, Jimmy. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Carter. I am. Good for you. Good morning, Michelle. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. All right. So there's two parts to this. I'm in as Bill sees it today. I'm like, I don't really want to talk on the first step. So we're going to talk about the step before the steps. What God asked for, that's what I'm going to do. All right. So, out of AA Today, page 8, it is, we know that the newcomer has to hit bottom. Otherwise, not much can happen. Because we are drunks who understand him, we can use at depth the nutcracker of this obsession, plus the allergy as a tool of such power that it can shatter his ego. Only thus can he be convinced that his own unaided resource, he has little or no chance. Oh man, yeah, I know how that goes. When I didn't do it, I didn't even do introductions. Let's do that real quick. It just needs to be done as part of the process. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello. Great. Yay, we're done. All right. I'm gonna revise that. Anyway, yeah, yeah, I get it. When I found out that my Medicaid was cut off and I couldn't see my therapist, I was pissed. I was pissed. And it is a little sad for us because it include even though it's not that way, to us it's kind of abandonment because now we don't get to talk to them anymore. And you can't really be friends on Facebook. You know, that's a huge violation of HIPAA, you know. So, but it's also good because that means you made it, you did it. Couples therapy's hard, man. It is because it's not just about you. You have to hear some hard things, right? All right. But yes, this hitting bottom. Okay. Now I do not utilize the words rock bottom because that denotes something. It denotes that it has to be, well, this isn't rock bottom to me. This isn't rock bottom. You know, so what is bottom? Well, it's when you've had enough. You've had enough. And that may happen. Um, who knows when that'll happen, you know? Um, but it is up to us. It is up to us. Yeah. Oh, she's getting a good promote. Is she getting a promotion? How does a therapist get a promotion? To become super duper therapist? That's what recovery coaches are doing now. They're like master recovery coach. Okay. Now I just laugh anymore. It used to make me mad, but it doesn't, right? So the next part is in the 12 by 12 page 24. So we're going to go there, but we're also going to utilize the big book. Yes, the jumping off place. He will wish for the end. They will wish for the end, right? That's 22, Dion. So 24. Why all this insistence that AA must hit bottom first? Okay. Now let me talk about rock bottom. Let me talk about bottoms and when we utilize rock bottom. What happens is um, we think that there's more, that there's a solid rock bottom that you can't go down anymore, and it's not true. That it doesn't. Rock bottom doesn't exist. It's one trap door after another till death. So we all need to choose our own bottoms. Okay. And when I got sober at 18, what was the bottom? Well, I was living on Skid Row. Bottom enough for you? I think that's bottom enough. Okay. What led me there? Well, alcohol and my actions led me there. My stubbornness, the failure to grow up. Right. Why all this insistence that every AA must hit bottom? The answer is that few people will sincerely try. So sincerely try to practice the AA program unless they have hit their bottom. Now let's remember that we have a lot of people in AA who are there of their not are there not of their own accord. They are being forced. Yes, you will be pushing up daisies. There's always a basement to the basement. Yes, see, look at all these different ways we could say this. You know, but denoting anything in AA is just bad. Otherwise the freedom's gone. The power to make a choice, right? That's something that I kind of need a 10th step here, real quick. In my home group, there's a person, and they're very smart, and of course they're good looking, things like that. It doesn't matter, but they always go against everything I say. But it's not crosstalk. It's just a sneaky way of doing it, you know. So I get tired of that because yesterday it talked about choices, and I'm like, I don't agree with this. And a lot of people were saying, well, I don't have the choice over drink. Well, I feel bad for you then. and you completed the program. See, that doesn't match. In the beginning, I had no choice. When I was caught in my alcoholism, I didn't have the choice. So on the other side, because there's a part of me that's going, are you taking it kind of personally, Dion? See, there we go. So we can work with things. See, that's why we 10 step it. Now I'm done with it. Maybe Dion's taking it a little personally. There we go. All right. Thank you for letting me 10 step it. Right. So the answer will few people will sincerely try it, practice the AA program. Oh, and I was talking about people that may have been that are there for a judge from the nudge from the judge. Maybe they're appeasing their significant other by being on a Zoom meeting. They can hear them, even though they're playing video games. Okay, what are we doing? Well, we're planting the seed. We're planting a seed. Okay, so for practicing AA's remaining 11 steps means the adoptions and attitudes and actions that almost no alcoholic who is still drinking can dream of taking. Who wishes to be rigorously honest and tolerant? Who wants to confess his faults to another, make restitution for harm done? Who cares anything about a higher power, let alone meditation and prayer? Who wants to sacrifice time and energy? Oh, I have got to take this because he never calls me. I'm sorry. Hey, Matt. Oh, yeah, she's on her way. Yeah. Was it? Yeah, maybe something. Yeah. No, she left about 20 minutes ago. She should be there real soon, dude. All right. You're welcome. Love you, dude. Bye. All right. He was asking if Shannon was on the scene. So thank you for letting me do that. It's my brother-in-law, and he never calls me. So emergency. Danger, Dr. Robertson. So because he needs to get to work. So okay. Who cares? But somebody to do. I like this one. The program grows choices. Yeah, it does. I like that. Thank you. Is it nice? Is it nice to be free of that? Now we can't be cocky. Can't be cocky about it. But the thing is when you become neutral to alcohol, you now have choices. And that is to me, it's a freedom. And there's a power in making the choice of not alcohol. There's power in that. It empowers me. You're all right. Who wants to sacrifice time and energy trying to carry AA's message to the next sufferer? No. The average alcoholic, self centered in the extreme, does not care for this project unless he has to do these things in order to stay alive himself. And that is not always true. It was not true for me. Death did not scare me. Death does not scare me when I am drinking. There's that qualification, right? All right, I'm going to go with doctor's opinion. All right. I'm going to start. Of course, an alcoholic ought to be freed from his physical craving for liquor, and this often requires a definite hospital procedure before psychological measures can be of maximum benefit. Yeah, exactly. When I was still in my cups and drinking consistently and everything, hold on. And I said, hey, I'm going to quit drinking. I had to ask God for a favor real quick. Um, and I said I was going to quit drinking. The amount of time I was sober was the amount of time it took me to get to the liquor store. I couldn't do it. Right. In fact, it made it worse. Right. Here, they're saying that we need to be freed of the alcohol first. Okay. That means we need to be at least a little more lucid. Now, it's going to take about 28 days for all of the alcohol to get out of your system. That is an average for an alcoholic. Okay. Because we've been drinking, unless you're a binge drinker, then that'll be different. But on an average, it's about 28 days. Even for Even if you've only been drinking a couple of years, but you've been drinking every day and stuff, it's still going to take 28 days. You're not really going to notice. Some is more severe than others, but what we're looking is for them to be lucid. Okay. And that should usually be done in the hospital. We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol in these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, that the phenomena of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. I love you too, Leisure. No, look at it. Yeah. So there was an argument in my meeting the other day about what is normal. It wasn't really an argument. It was more of a opinionated, because sometimes people hear the word normal, right? The thing we're talking, this is what we're talking about right here. It never accords in the average temperate drinker. Average means normal. That's in this case average. So we could just say average temperate drinker if we want to, non-alcoholic. A lot of people are not big on this normal, because nobody wants to be normal anymore. And I get that. I understand that. I fight being normal too. I don't want to be put in that class. You want to know why I didn't watch Friends? Because everybody else fucking talked about it. It just irritated me. Yeah. I love a lot of those actors in there. I think Matthew Perry fucking awesome. Yeah, well, he was, but I was probably attracted to him because he was a drunk like me. None of the girls, sorry, just no, thanks. All right. And I apologize if you're a Friends fan. It was a fantastic show for a lot of people. So these allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form at all. And once having formed the habit and found they cannot break it, once having lost their self-confidence, their reliance upon things human, their problems pile up on them, and they become astonishingly difficult to solve. I make mountains out of molehills. I used to. I don't really anymore. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It does, sure. All right. But I don't stay in that for very long. You know. Now, why do we have so many problems when we come into this program? Well, it's a sleep deprivation thing. Sleep deprivation combined with stubbornness and denial. Pretty much. See, when we drink, we don't, and it's true of anybody. If somebody goes out for 2 or 3 drinks, they're not, and they go to bed, they're not going to dream. And when you don't dream, you don't REM. And when you don't REM, you're not resting. You don't get the rest that you actually need. Or, I'm not a sleep person, but, I know you need to get a certain amount of REM during the night, or you're not going to get it. Right? So what happens? Well, we live in a fog world, and then we start to create problems. Well, you know that what's happening here, it's dementia. Okay. Another reason as to why we need to be 6 months sober before we can be, dementia, alcoholism, ADD, ADHD. Yeah. Our problems are of our own imagination, correct. Right? In this on page 62 with selfishness and self-centeredness. The rest for me were just great excuses to drink. That's why I made them up. So we get through those first 30 days and realize a lot of those don't even exist. We probably don't even think about them again because we're not in that state anymore. And then we realize that the problems that we do have, we can right size, and we do that through sponsorship and closed mouth friends. Right? All right. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. It is not the alcoholic that they're talking about here. Okay. They're talking about the people trying to get the alcoholic sober. That's what they're talking about here. If somebody came crying to me to please quit drinking, I don't know. I don't know, right? Because it always felt like they just wanted something from me. But let's think about this. What did we just talk about? Is that even true? I mean, my wife wanted me to get sober. What did she need for? I didn't have anything to offer. So what are they taking from me? And I don't know why that is. I don't know. I mean, I think I have an idea, right? The message which can hold and interest these alcoholic people must have depth and weight. Without depth and weight, and it's usually because we know that we're hurting other people because we're arguing, we're doing all this other stuff, but it just doesn't occur to us that it's us doing it. And when we make that realization, I find that a lot of alcoholics change. Yeah. Yeah. And overthinking, it doesn't matter whether I'm drinking or not. Overthinking is just a part of my nature. It is part of alcoholism, of the mental illness that comes with it. That's right. When I start what ifing things, oh, we're gonna have a conversation, and this is how it's gonna go. No, it's not. And then we're gonna get mad when it doesn't. Right? The message in nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves if they are to recreate their lives. They're being so nice there. In nearly all cases, I've met people who stayed sober without a higher power. I have, and they're miserable. They're miserable. They don't have any joy. They're still assholes. Yeah. If any feel that a psychiatrist directing a hospital for alcoholics, we appear somewhat sentimental. Let them stand with us a while on the fire line, see the tragedy, the despairing wives, the little children. Let the solving of these problems become a part of their daily work, and even in their sleeping moments. And the most cynical will not wonder why we have accepted and encouraged this movement. We feel after many years of experience that we have found nothing which has contributed more to the rehabilitation of these men than the altruistic movement now growing up among them. Now, let's think about Dr. Silkworth here. Look at all the effort he put into you and me. He was thinking about people like you and me. Something happened in his life. He lost somebody to alcoholism. He was very, very close to. What a beautiful guy, man. What a beautiful dude. You know, to do that for us. You know. Now, do we need the professionals? You bet we do. You bet. We will not survive without the professionals. No. And that doesn't mean just therapy. No. Uh-uh. Doctors, lawyers, judges. Now they love us because we're good examples that make their life easier. We're the ultimate Jerry Maguire. If you've been in sales at all, then you know what the Jerry Maguire is. Help me help you. Therapists love it when we're in 12-step programs because then, where Dr. Silkworth went home every day unsatisfied, probably crying in his bed that he's like, God, why can't I help these people? What is it? And Bill comes along and sets him up and says, hey, if I do this, you'll have a much better chance because it said this, right? The 4 psychological measures can be of maximum service. Well, the 12 steps is a psychological measure, my friend. Yeah, it's cognitive behavioral therapy, the rearranging of the mind. That's what CBT is. All right. Men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. It's exactly why I drank it. That is it. If I was to put it in a nutshell, that would be it. Because I didn't drink it for the taste. Okay. There were a couple of things I did drink for taste. Newcastle and Stella Artois, right? Those are my high-end ones because I was always broke. I was watching Daredevil the other day. They're drinking Newcastle. They don't show the label, but I know it's Newcastle. And for a second there, ooh, that sounds yummy. And yeah, see, but it's supplanted by other things pretty quickly. You know. Anyway, the sensation is so elusive that while they admit it is injurious, they cannot after a time differentiate the true from the false. There's that delusion again. There's that delusion. I couldn't tell the difference. And then it goes on to say they think their own life is their only normal one. Oh yeah, absolutely, Alicia. Well, here's what happens in my mind. Oh man, that feels good. Can I have more? Because I think it's going to increase whatever is going on. But I don't understand that I've actually reached the point of that I should. But see, my brain just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Yep. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. They are restless, irritable, and discontented. Now listen to that. Okay. What is that? That is a dry drunk. If you are not drinking, you can still be this. Okay. Unless they can experience the sense and ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks. Drinks they see others taking with impunity. All right. So we live in what I like to call the microwave age. We want everything on instant minute, and everybody does this. Okay. Like you order something, oh, it's going to take 3 days to get here. What the fuck? Really? Really? 3 days is pretty fast. But the more we make our lives convenient, I'm going to tell you this, and doesn't have anything to do with it. Hey, this is just something Dion knows. The more convenient your life, the less freedom you have. All right. So if that's the case, then what was alcohol? It was instant gratification for us. There's that delayed gratification. Can you find ease and comfort in the moment? Ah, now we're talking something different. That's an inside job. You did not require something or somebody else to become better in the moment. After the part when drinks which they see others taking with impunity, I never went through that. I never got mad that other people could drink and I couldn't. I got over that when I was 14. Yeah, I don't get, because I knew that had nothing to do with me. I already knew that. But I know other people go through it. Well, how do they get to it and I don't? Well, really? Really? Come on. All right. After they have succumbed to the desire again, as so many do, what is that desire? Have I added to the other, when I was talking about watching Daredevil, was that a desire to drink? No. It was an intrusive thought. A desire to drink would have meant, oh, how far is the liquor store? Do I have enough cash? Do I have the, see, now my mind is working towards the drink. All right. They pass through the well-known stage of a spree, emerging remorseful with a firm resolution not to drink again. This is repeated over and over, and unless a person can experience an entire psychic change, there is very little hope of his recovery. On the other hand, and strange as it may seem to those who do not understand, once a psychic change has occurred, this very same person who seemed doomed, who had so many problems he despaired of ever solving them, suddenly finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol, the only effort necessary being that required to follow a few simple rules. Yeah, in the beginning, that was something that confused me too. When I was 13, I call it the summer of Jim Beam. I'm going to tell this story and then we met some friends from from Texas, right, that summer. And their father was a police officer, right? They were there this summer, and down in the basement was cases and cases of Jim Beam. Cases and cases of Jim Beam. Okay. Now I know where I got it. Not stupid. Even at 13, I'm like, this guy totally fucking stole this. So we didn't care, right? But my older brothers and I would sneak out because see, I knew, or they would have done it without me. And we'd start drinking. But they would take a swig, and a few minutes later be like, ugh, and I'd be like, can I have another one? My tolerance for alcohol, we alcoholics are born with a tolerance to alcohol. We're born with that, right? So we would see other people drinking the same amount, and they'd be all sloppy, and we'd be like, "You're nothing." But within another half hour after we had pounded out, then we'd be worse than they would. Weird. Why? Because once I start, I cannot stop. Okay, and here's the key. There was one time somebody handed me a drink. I didn't know there was alcohol in it. And I spit it all over, right? Is that a relapse? No. I did not knowingly put alcohol in my body. No, I did not. So no, that's not a relapse. Maybe you weren't aware. NyQuil, any cold medicine. Be careful of cold medicine. Okay. In Colorado, they can now sell alcohol in the stores. Well, you go to 7-Eleven or whatever, you better read those things because some of them might have alcohol in it. And some people, they're not going to card me. I clearly look more older than 21. So be very, very careful on these new drinks that we try. Right? And heck, they're even infused with mushrooms and shit now. I think I'll just stick with Coke at this point. All right. Thinking about going to the store, picking up some paint. But it's fucking cold out there, and I don't want it. Oh, I used to do a lot better in the cold, but it's the blood thinners. I'm on blood thinners. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This was a little bit lengthier than I've been doing usually lately. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Love you. Peace out. And